to kind of set the scene for you. We're expecting this thing to, charge through the Caribbean Sea, possibly then move into the Gulf of America.
Medium chance to develop in the coming days. Odds are 40% in the next 2 days, as well as the next 7 days.
Welcome back to a Carry Handle Fireside Chat. So we were discussing, well, recently we just had Jesse from, or Jesse the Boondock Bellistician. I was going to say she's from a channel, but it's kind of weird when you're naming a channel. It's like it's either a person or it's an entity or it's a business. It's like it's kind of funny when you start referring to them. We were talking with her recently. We had her on. Finally, the stars aligned, got her to come on. I know she's had a lot coming on, but
Yeah, that
we're
was
going
really
on.
fun to
That
get
was
her on.
that was incredible. So definitely tune in for that episode. That was last week's. Or wait,
yesterday.
Wait, what's today? Yeah,
Oh,
that was
so
yesterday's. So this is Friday's episode. So if you're listening to this episode, listen to the previous episode.
Happy Friday.
But
Woo.
yeah, that's right. I can actually tell people exactly when this is coming out. So yes, hello Friday people.
unless you forget and put it out on a Wednesday.
So what we can say is this isn't necessarily, it's not an addendum, but it's a, I don't know, what's the thing that comes out of a post credit? It's like the post credits roll. It's like a after action. Yeah, there we go. It's like an after action.
Oh, an after
like
action.
a debrief.
Oh wow. Okay.
So Kevin and I have had a little time after the fact. I mean, in real time, it's been a day, but you guys are going to hear this a week, or, well, not a week, but a few days later. So I've been writing a dealio for something about the Centurion Arms Mars rifle, or Centurion Arms Mars miniature assault rifle. And Kevin was helping me, or wasn't helping me. He was helping edit my writing, and we were discussing the ballistics. And we're not going to rehash necessarily what we were talking about with Jesse, but we were talking about the raw numbers that were projected based on what the 5.56 by 30 was performing. And effectively, you could say max effective range comfortably is around 400 yards.
Yeah.
And I mean, at
almost double that
yards?
of 5.7.
Yeah. And then on top of that, it's delivering 300 foot-pounds at, was it 300 yards?
Yes, it's delivering rifle.
Yeah, it's
capabilities.
Yeah,
so at 300. Yeah.
Now, as a quick caveat, this is not we are not proposing this in the same role that you would implement a M4 or an M16. There's something I guess Kevin and I saw in an article recently, or that was published in 2017, I think, on the Firearm blog. I think it was Nathaniel or one of their writers. Excellent piece talking about the 5.56 by 30 and the Mars rifle, and he coined the term. Again, I can't remember the name specifically, but it was the miniature assault rifle. And when if you don't know, or you still haven't looked up what that is, you just really quickly, if you type in Colt Mars or Centurion Arms Mars,
it'll pop up immediately.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. If it looks like it's literally chopped in half, if it looks like a poor Photoshop design, that's probably it.
I mean, basically it is. It's just they take an M4 carbine and then they shrink it. And they made it smaller and they put rivets in it.
Well, so how did they shrink it?
What they do, like cut it in half and stuff?
Yeah, they cut it in half and they electro welded it back. Literally electric welded the receiver back together, both the upper and the lower, and the magazines.
Yeah. Weren't the original magazines held together with like tape?
I think so, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of it's the whole program's kind of fun. It's very quintessentially kind of backdoor black op kind of secret squirrel.
Well, Yeah, I mean, and the answer is a really good question. Like, what do you arm rear echelon troops with if you want them to have something more than a pistol?
Well, and I think that speaks towards more what we were talking what we mentioned earlier, which is what we need as a responsibly armed citizen. I think they match. We're not expecting for Russians to come falling from the sky
Mm-mm.
with AKs and fucking, like fully kitted out. That's not something we're really counting on. What
Right.
we are more likely to find is a varmint or two, or a slightly more energetic wolf, or maybe a bipedal dickhead. So
A
I think
bipedal dickhead. Hmm.
it's yeah. So I think much like a rear echelon troop, I mean, I think if you're planning around a rifle for the worst case scenario, I think that's a perfectly valid thought process. I mean,
Well,
I'm not saying
well,
that's
yeah.
not a good idea.
It's really interesting because the last few episodes we were talking about what 22s, and before that we were talking about hurricane guns,
Mhm.
and you were going on about your 7-inch, 7.5-inch AR and your 10-inch 5, and those are, and you can attest to this, arguably terrible to shoot. Like, they're not
I'm
super fun.
I mean, just the worst things in
In
the world.
in and watching the interview when the Mars inventor, Mike Harris, he it kind of like he he went around, he talked about that. He's like, these shooting those guns were horrible. So he wanted to make something that was more pleasant to shoot and not have a bunch of gas stuff blow up in your face and all kinds of shit and have that just ruin your day. Because at
Well,
the end
it's
of the
funny,
day,
people
it's,
people mention gas to the face when it comes to suppressors,
mhm.
but dude,
Well, I
some
mean,
guns are gassy without a can, man.
well, my old AK I had, I mean, it would throw
Oh man, that
corduroy and
thing
gunpowder into my face. Yeah.
I was gonna say that was I think my really my only real adult exposure to AKs, like with any
I
serious trigger time, because I mean
I
everybody
mean,
shoots the
I knew the viewers can't see this, but I'm showing Bryce my glasses that I used to wear, and the Mark CCs are not only shells that have bounced off my
it's
glasses,
all-
but also corduroy and gunpowder,
I was gonna
primarily from the
say
AK. Because I used to wear my glasses while I shot the AK almost as
shooting
kind
that
of a
gun was so unpleasant. It would spit back gas, like jets of gas back in your face,
mhm.
hot unburnt powder because it was I mean, I imagine the gas tube and the gas block were misaligned so that it was just
Yeah,
shooting things out of
who knows?
every crevasse.
But yeah, so the Mars rifle kinda he addressed that idea, that issue
Mm,
to make it shootable for rear echelon. Because the whole idea was to get rid of the MP5.
right,
The MP5 was a interesting idea. I'm not poo-pooing the MP5, it's great. I love the MP5, but it's at a pistol caliber.
right.
So the Mars is a rifle caliber, and then you see the
Well, the mark. Okay,
Russians
so
did it too, right?
let's maybe correct that a little bit. It's not a
Okay.
rifle caliber.
Well, you're right. You're right, it's
It's
not.
not. It's more. I mean, I still think it's spiritually similar to an M1 carbine, but it is also not a PDW. So
Wow.
I do think it is a mini assault rifle. I think it is in the same vein or a similar vein to the P90s and the MP7, but just in the nature of the operating system,
Mhm.
and that it's not a bullpup, and that it's not well, I mean, both of those are really bullpups. Even the MP7 sort of most of the operating mechanism is
Yeah.
behind
Like,
the
we
trigger mechanism. So I think it really truly is in its own, you know, world.
category.
Yeah, ballistically, and I mean, in terms aesthetically, I mean, part of this is it is
Yeah.
aesthetics, but I do think it becomes into its own class, and then I think more to that point, it is more of a reason to be superior to something like 5.56 in a 10-inch gun, or
Mm.
5.56 in a 7-inch gun, or in whatever other configuration. Now, as as an American citizen, and specifically an American citizen,
Mhm.
there is a massive argument for a everyman everyman rifle, and that's really what we're talking about something.
Right.
And I guess really, I guess we've been talking about this, and we referenced this a couple years ago with the fucking ranch rifle, right? I
Oh.
mean,
Oh,
the ranch rifle, and
yeah.
okay, now because apparently we have listeners internationally, so in the specific use case in America, we have some laws that while you may think you're allowed to have guns everywhere all the time, some guns are not cool in certain places. So if it looks like an AR-15 or an AK-47, those
It's
ones are
very
scary.
scary. Very
Yeah,
scary. I'm
scary
scared.
guns.
I'm actually scared right now that you just mentioned it.
Yeah. Yeah, So shaking in my boots. So those aren't kosher. But guns that look like hunting rifles or guns that look like they belong on a ranch are more appropriate and follow a lot more laws. And a lot of the time it kind of seems like these laws are written specifically around these ranch style rifles because in some of these places they have a large population of people that own those types of rifles that
Yeah.
own property
And
or
they use that
ranches.
for they use that for food and other
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
Like, it's
it's
not just,
for
you know.
in that particular role, it turns into I need to be considerate of varmint. I need to be considerate of wolves or predators or
Mhm.
bipedal assholes, like I said earlier.
Yeah.
And it's less so self defense, but it is a more it becomes like a partner, a partner in your endeavors,
Well, to that
much
end, I
like your
like,
horse would be.
yeah, I like the Hower 15 Mini. I
Yeah, the
want
6.5 Grendel, 6 arc, 300 blackout,
yeah, I want one that
kinda
sits arc. I think that would be really cool.
I think those now we're kinda branching off a little bit into less of a PDW see, but we're still really in that mini assault rifle because
Mhm.
both of those they fit in Stanag or all of those fit in Stanag magazines,
Mhm.
but the mini action, I think, kind of touches both of those roles, like that ranch rifle and the more
Yeah.
the GPR kind of it's not an assault rifle, it's
Well, I
not
mean,
semi-automatic or anything,
so the
but
idea, so here's the idea. Here's the idea. So
mhm,
anywhere in the 50 continental United States, you want a rifle that you can have that's you ubiquitous, or it was, and help me out. Is it ubiquitous? Is that the word I'm thinking of?
ubiquitous? Yeah. You
That
mean in terms of, like,
you can have it. You can have it.
it's
No one.
inconspicuous?
Well, like, someone would come to your house and they'd look at it and say, "Oh, whatever. Like,
Yeah,
oh, this is a
grandpappy's
hunting
rifle.
grandpappy's rifle." And I think the Howa 15 mini action and rifles similar to that in the scout
Mhm,
sense fit that role, but also they're usable enough that you could get rapid session out of them. You could
yeah.
train yourself to oops, push yourself to get better performance past say a 7 rim mag.
So, it's an interesting proposition. We recently, Kevin and I don't know, we're avid watchers of the Lucky Gunner YouTube
Mm,
channel, and fucking this hurt me mentally and spiritually, but I guess it's almost like 10 years ago the Scout Rifle series came out,
no.
and that made me cry, like, a lot so much. So, I was exploring that, and in that series, Chris Baker kinda, uh makes some concessions and basically is like, "Hey, if we're gonna do this in the modern age, we're gonna have to, say certain things are okay, and we're gonna be alright with maybe the eye placement, the eye or specific rifle scopes." And then later, he broadened that scope to a scope to the 5.56 rifles, like the Ruger I think it was a Ruger American. I think it was actually the Mossberg MVP, but it was a Stanag fed bolt
Five five
action,
five five six.
a
Yeah.
5.56. Yes, thank you. And the Ruger gun sight, which is AC or AICS pattern, so it's not STANAG compatible. But the TLDR was, I don't know why I said that so fucking loud.
Mhm.
TLDR, uh, Ruger gun sight is heavier, but and with less ammo and less ammo capacity and potential for
Mhm.
capacity, but it feeds a lot quicker and a lot smoother, quicker handling, MVP, more
Mhm.
ammo, cheaper rifle, cheaper quality. Doesn't feed as well because it's not dedicated magazines. And then you kind of get into the same
Right.
problem that we talked about with, it's not ideal. It's, that's so in that vein. I think the Howa is a really good kind of evolution from that because it's a purpose designed cartridge
Yep.
in a smaller platform. Now, granted, the cartridge, all of the chamberings, I think, for the mini action is for ARs. But what that
Yeah.
does,
Yeah.
because
That
I think
tracks.
it's
That
300,
tracks.
6.5,
Yeah.
6 arc,
Yeah.
223,
Yeah.
350 Bush or 350 Legend
I don't know. Maybe
and
that
something
sounds
7.62
familiar.
by 39. That's the other one.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So now that I'm thinking, those are all like really popular hunting calibers, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the 7.62 by 39.
More
That's
to
more
my
like
point, by the way.
Eastern. That's like more like European and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, there are hunting loads for it. And how is
Yeah.
Japanese? So I mean, if it's sold internationally. We're not the only market for it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a definitely an interesting idea. Now, with the mini actions, I think it's worth it's definitely worth noting that they are proprietary magazines.
They are.
So, yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Oh
So
no.
it has to be, and it's a weird front magazine ejection release kind of dealio.
Ah, you're. Mm.
Yeah. So
I
MDT,
still want one.
you can
I
still
still want
kind of
one, but I'm on the fence now.
I think just the magazine release solution alone makes it a less appealing option.
Mm. The
Now, I've done a little
manual
research
arms.
into it myself, and there are chassis that will accept the mini action, but the receivers are physically smaller than short actions, so it's actually it's smaller than that of a small action.
Mm-hmm.
And which if you're not really familiar with the actions on bolt guns, so the standard action or short action is what you're thinking of when you think of Remington 700 308.
Your Pappy's rifle.
Yeah. Now, if you start thinking Magnum, like 300 Win Mag, 30-06, 300 PRC, big boy cartridges, 7 Rim
Mm-hmm.
Mag,
Yep.
those are long actions. Those are magnum calibers. Now, there's medium actions and other shit in there, but there's two major ones, and then there's a bunch of little tag on ones. There's medium ones for like small action magnums, but those are
Yeah. Yeah.
typically it's a whole different
We
thing.
don't want to get down the rabbit hole right now.
Howa came out with an action that was optimized for smaller cartridges, specifically center gas gun cartridges,
Okay.
like anything that shot out of an AR.
5.56. Hey,
Yeah.
7.60 39. Yeah.
And that was just because you can run short axes in 5.56 and those other calibers, but there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of dead space because they're shorter cartridges than 308, and the overall
Right.
length you're going to run for those box mags. So it's just, I mean, you could do it, and people have 223 trainers. In fact, I am shopping for some 223 trainer AICS pattern stuff.
Nice.
But I do accept that that's like a long actually, you know what? As a really quick tangent, there's actually
Yeah.
some historical relevance here. The
Okay.
I think the M24, the Army sniper rifle, is a
Okay.
308 based
Yeah.
on a long action. So the bolt throw on those rifles is actually a full Magnum long action stroke, even though it's only a 308 cartridge. So
Wow.
yes, and one thing people note that have shot that is that you got to watch out because you expect it to only be so much, and then you short stroke it.
Oh
So, and then
wow.
that's pretty common with.
Yeah, that's definitely a consideration.
Now, I don't think
So
I think you unfuck your shit pretty quick with that, but
yeah,
it's still kind of funny because it's a 308, but it still uses a
yeah,
long action. So
that's interesting. So would you say, let's say, world's ending, troops are landing, Mars Mars rifle and a Howa 15 mini, the the two guns that you might want to bring with you wherever you go.
oh no.
Assuming you have ammunition, assuming you have enough ammunition to feed
I
them.
mean, what soldiers are landing? I mean, I think that's a bigger question than he drops this as like at the end of the show.
Well, I
At
mean,
the end of
just
the fireside, he's like, you know what?
yeah,
We're just,
river any soldier. I mean, any enemy soldier from, just say, modern combat soldier.
all right, I'm gonna be super unfun and not
Here it
super
comes.
cool. I am not a soldier, and I'm not gonna be
Fair.
fighting a fucking war. I am gonna be a little dirty scavenger that's gonna come
Mhm.
up and start rooting through dead bodies
Right.
and stealing their shit and fucking off.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
I gotta worry about in this scenario, hopefully you're around somewhere close. So I have to worry about all of our well-beings, just like you have to worry about our like I mean,
Right.
we're worried about the group, right?
Right. The group
Fighting is not a great way to stay
is
safe.
not
So if we
conducive to
can
life.
yeah, we want to evade, right?
Mhm.
So I think the idea is find something that's pretty effective that you can find ammo for. So, I mean, more to your point, maybe the 223 Howa makes sense. It's not a lot of parts. You don't have to worry about gassing and it getting dirty necessarily. Obviously, it has a striker assembly and shit like that. But worst case scenario, you take out 10-round magazine, you start fucking stuffing ammo in it, or you just bolt back, start manually
Yeah.
fucking, feed the beast.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Hmm.
no, I don't necessarily think that's maybe the best rifle per se. I think I think it's actually more of an in-depth question than just
It's a
because
hard one.
because I mean the gun is important. I don't get me wrong, like into the world, whatever, or shit hit the fan thing. Guns are definitely important, but I mean I come back to in my mind, I'm gonna have a gun, I'm gonna have a rifle, but the ammo for the rifle is probably going to be on the rifle.
Mhm.
Or it's gonna be 2 coupled magazines because 'cause I'm just like, I
Right.
don't know, just some ammo
Yeah.
in a bag, maybe
Yeah,
2 mags on the gun, and
logistically trying to hump around a bunch of, ammunition. I mean, I just read a report that, what, 1,000 rounds of 9 millimeter weighs 36 pounds.
well, I mean,
So,
I
I
just
mean, that's just, that's 36 pounds you'd have to lug around
exactly.
just in handgun ammo.
And not to mention, I'm hungry sometimes, and sometimes I like drinking
No.
water.
What? Now you're just being silly.
I know, I know, I'm
Drinking
asking
water.
for too much.
You're asking for the basic necessities of life. How dare you, sir?
Yeah,
How?
it's like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna have armor, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that," and I'm like,
Well, that's the big folly. I
fuck?"
see all that. I always see that scenario posted on GunTube, and then they use it to talk about whatever gun they have and the
Yeah,
best case defense for their said system. But I
yeah,
like your thought process is whatever you got is what you fucking got. And
yeah.
it's really not the gun. It's more in the tactics and the mentality of survival.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I
yeah.
think there's an interesting proposition if you wanna plan your best entry, but when you go in, I imagine you're probably just gonna dump whatever gun you're done using. I mean, no matter how awesome the gun is, if it's out of ammo and you need to
It's
leave,
weight.
you're not
It's
keeping.
weight. Yeah, it's weight. Well, I mean, I just watched a YouTube about like tracking and evading and all kinds of stuff, and they made some really interesting points made. You know, about like dumping guns and camouflaging yourself and knowing terrain and knowing maps and all that stuff is really important. So like knowing your area, it's more about
Well, expound
survival
on that.
training.
Give me something to chew on here. Something to look forward to for the next fireside. Come on, man.
Well, perhaps we talk about like knowing the area and we dive more into survival tactics and things of that nature, not so much like what gun to bring, but what supplies you might want to have ready to go, food wise.
Now I have to preface: this will not be a fireside. Like I gotta research this shit. I don't know this off the top
Uh,
of my head.
I mean, I know my area because I live in the city, so it's pretty easy. I have street sides and road sides and stuff to
So
give me.
that's interesting that you bring that up. And I've been walking, I guess rucking more
Yeah.
lately, and I've been trying to get to know my area more.
Hmm.
And I will say it's completely different when you get street level versus zooming by doing whatever the speed limit is,
Yeah.
obviously, in a car.
Yeah, yeah, different avenues kinda open up to you when you're on foot because you can
Yeah.
cut through this, you can cut through this area, you can cut through a yard, you know?
Right, your GPS is, I mean, it's way the crow flies, right?
Mm,
So,
yeah, so
but yeah, that's something for us to chew on, something to hopefully we'll remember this for the next episode.
perhaps, or
Maybe
we'll
if
be
not.
talking about something completely different. I mean, it's a fireside. What
I
are
don't
you
know,
gonna do?
we might be. I mean, realistically, we seem to things seem to round robin here pretty regularly, so I have faith in us. So, yeah, do we have anything else we're gonna do, or are we gonna put this fucking fire out?
Well,
You're not allowed to pee on it.
I well, no, it's your turn to pee on this time. Maybe, just maybe, SCP long format video on the Carry Handle Gaming is out by Friday.
Wow. Okay, very cool. So, I mean,
Maybe.
you know what? Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe the next episode we'll just talk about games. I feel like
Vid
we haven't done a video game episode in a bit.
Yeah, and they are cool.
What?
Video games.
Vidges? I like them vidges. So, all right. I guess I'll make this smell terrible. All right, it's time for us to go. Thank you for tuning in.
Alright,
We like talking and doing the. I know I
bye-bye.
say I think I say ear holes, right?
Ear holes?
Ear holes. Wait, I gotta find the thing.
Find
Hold
the
on.
thing. Where's the
I'm doing it.
thing?
I'm doing
Hurry.
it. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Very cool. You should like and subscribe.
On Facebook and Instagram.
And Twitter and Spotify. You should listen there too if you
Well,
if you
aren't they
heard
listening
this on
to
Spotify.
this on Spotify right now?
Well, they could be, but there's also YouTube podcasts, so, you know, all of the places.
We always forget where we post this stuff.
We don't know where this is. Thank you for listening wherever you're listening to, but you should also like the other places that we are. And
Who
then
are we and what the hell are we doing here?
yeah, I don't know how we got here. So, thank you for letting us talk directly into your ear holes.
Ah, right to the brain.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Adios.